All right, y'all, welcome back to our newest episode of the Citizen Podcast. We've got royalty here today. I don't know if you know that. It is Forest Acres Royalty. Actually, it's two council members, the two best ones, I think, but Stephen Oliver and Haskell Kibler, who are not only entrepreneurs, but they're also the coolest city council people in all of Forest Acres, which... That's saying something.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Welcome.
Out of four of you, there's the best two right here.
Blow up our egos a little bit. Yeah.
We just had a ribbon cutting. I mean, like that was pretty intense.
Like today, like this morning?
At 9
o'clock.
o'clock.
This morning,
boy.
yeah.
Okay. What did you ribbon cut?
Yeah.
All about you aesthetics.
Yes. Lauren's a big friend of mine.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not big. She is one of my big friends.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to clarify.
Yeah. Well, why weren't we there? Why didn't you have us?
We had another podcast.
Nice save. Nice save.
But they're at 4700 Forest Drive and excited to have them in the city.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a beautiful building. What they've done inside.
We're more than just restaurants in Forest Acres.
That's right.
Well, I feel like rent like commercial space stuff. If you can put a hairdresser in there or like estheticians, like it's like therapists. Like they're always looking for space. It's just a matter of you can get the right amount of per square foot cost out of it.
I think we got what, three ribbon cuttings in the next 2 weeks?
We do.
So
Yeah.
How? Like there's no
excited.
space left in Forest Acres. Like people go, I'm looking at one space. I'm like, oh, I know the opening.
That's
so
right. They're filling some gaps that we have. And who was it? The pet,
Four
used to be,
Paws?
no, not Four Paws, but True Vist.
Oh,
I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It used to be in the Burn Boot Camp space
Yeah.
on
Yes.
Forest Drive.
Yeah.
So they've opened, they're here, and we'll have a ribbon cutting for them.
that's awesome.
Just did Humidor Reel,
Okay.
where
Okay.
Taco Sushi used to
Yeah.
be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking
So
forward to that spot.
I'm already a frequent flyer
Are
there.
you?
All right,
Sad to
good,
say.
good,
So,
good,
yeah,
good.
I need to hit that up for sure. But yeah, let's talk about Forest Acres to start off with. Obviously, we're doing this podcast, or really a video series as well on YouTube. So people are searching the Southeast like constantly. We get a ton of views off neighborhood videos and area videos. And I have the hardest time. And I live in the donut hole of Forest Acres. So like I know it, but how the hell can I describe Forest Acres to somebody? Because it's a neighborhood, but it's a town. But is it like, it's just an interesting like dynamic. How would you explain Forest Acres besides it's just a town?
Oh gosh, right. That's a great question. We are a small town with big city amenities.
Yeah.
Is that way I'd sum it up. So we know our neighbors. We see them in the grocery store. We say,
Is that a good thing?
We say
You like
hello.
that?
It is.
Yes.
No, it is.
Yes.
And
99% of the time, yes. Yes.
and you do like having that interaction in the grocery store.
Sure.
And I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'll have either Hayward, my 10-year-old, with me, or Jones, my 13-year-old, walking around, and it's nice to have that exchange.
Sure.
It can be both good and bad. It could be questions. So it's good. So it's a small town feel, which I think Forest Acres has been known for many, many years. But we have those nice amenities down the street too, which people appreciate.
Well, it's the grocery store mecca of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Name another town that has that many good grocery stores in like 500 square feet.
People drive for over an
Yes,
hour to
they
come to
do.
just Trader Joe's.
We had
do.
partners in Augusta, and every time she'd come up here, she's like, "I gotta go by Trader Joe's. Will you bring me something?"
And bring a cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how
Right.
it works.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And we're very thankful for that. And they all seem to thrive in their different sort of niches. So I was at the Lowe's Foods grocery store Friday afternoon, and there was a happy hour at the bar there.
Yes.
And I walked around with the beer as well. I mean, it's a unique experience.
And if you go in there, that's like a regular hangout for
yeah,
some
it
people.
is.
Is that bar?
That blows my mind.
It tripped me
People, they've turned it into the Lowe's nightclub after work. Yeah.
Go get some cold cuts and a pint of beer and hang out.
But
Exactly.
you like to see it. And that's the community aspect of it that I think we're very proud of.
Yeah, yeah, and we're loyal. We're loyal to our businesses.
Yep.
You know, we give you a shot, and if you were good to us, we're good right back to you. So.
Yeah, it's funny. I used to know, I still do, as a businessman that had a decent practice in Forest Acres. He's like, I don't have to pass Trenholm Plaza. He lives in Forest Lake. His business was there. He goes to the gym. He's like, I literally go 2 miles a day.
I'm
Don't
very
do it.
happy with that.
Yeah.
And he or she was very happy with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
My wife and I say that all the time. We try to venture out and go outside of Forest Acres for a meal, and we're just like,
Just can't do it.
just can't do it. No,
Yeah.
it's not. We always compare it back to somewhere in Forest Acres. You know, not as good as that. So yeah,
Yeah,
we tried
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like also y'all have done a great job with the parks. So we talk about parks a lot. We talk about kids, family activities. And so one of the things I'd love to dive into is sort of a background and update on the amphitheater park. I'm calling it the wrong thing, at the old Richland Fashion Mall. Like they're still grinding concrete over there, but like what's the plans?
It's coming though.
Because I don't know all of it. What are the
Yeah.
plans for the Forest Acres Park side of it?
Well, I think we're still kind of somewhat in design phase.
Gotcha.
We're waiting on final drawings to come back. We've given the designers an idea of what we want it to be.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of came back to city administration and administration was like, that's not what council asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I've learned being on council. I'm sure Haskell has as well. Is nothing moves quickly.
Yeah.
In government entities,
Yeah.
it is slow moving, and
Yep.
then it's got to be presented to us once a month at a council meeting. So it could come in the day after a council meeting, and we still got to wait 4 weeks to.
You don't have to
see
answer
it.
this, but how frustrating is that as entrepreneurs? Because I mean,
Oh, it
Oh,
is
yeah.
very frustrating.
I used to be a commissioner on the housing authority for the state for about 8 years, and they'd be like, "We have this problem." I'm like, "Cool, let's do this, this, and this. Like next week, let's get started." And they're like, "That's gonna be 6 months." And I'm like,
right.
"What?"
Yeah.
Like, all the
It can be
RF,
mind-blowing.
whatever.
And
Oh,
frustrating. And you learn to just kind of navigate it, and you want to get it right. So you do want to make sure the finished product is what it should be. The overall park, the
What's
the vision is still there.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's working out the particulars, so to speak. But yeah, there's an amphitheater, and I'm a big music guy, and I'm Mary Lane. I mean, we all enjoy live music, and we have to either cross the river to do it. Finley Park is now open, so that's a nice amenity we can all enjoy. But we're going to be able to do it within 5 or 10 minutes from.
Now you're
home.
never leaving for us.
Right,
That's
right.
correct.
So that's
We would tempt you with a concert
That's
to come on
correct.
out, but nope, now you're never leaving.
and excited for what that's going to be, and so that's a part of it. So an amphitheater and a beautiful green space to go along with that. There'll be a small playground area.
Yeah.
so the kids have something to do while we're doing fun
Or
stuff.
jamming out.
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
give them that option. There'll be
Little walking trail down the kind of feeding on the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
a nice walking trail, and that creek, which we all grew up. If you ever went to the old food court or sounds familiar,
Oh,
I spent
yeah.
a lot of time. It sounds familiar growing up, looking out. It was
Really
just
showing your age.
Yeah.
I know. It was just an old parking lot, and there was a creek beneath that food court, and we're going to activate it, and it's going to be a amenity and a beautiful piece of the overall development. And then like the walking trails that Stephen mentioned, that's something you can do and get to see some wildlife and as you go around the park.
The city's property actually runs all the way down to past Slim Chickens, pretty much almost to Firestone.
Oh, wow.
So both sides of the creek on that end down
That's pretty
there.
cool.
Yeah. So
That'd be a good spot.
yeah, nice
So it's
little.
not gonna be a quiet park like the rest of yours. We found out about that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried to have a movie in the park one time and politely got our banners back. I was like,
Celebrations.
"Oh yeah, we probably should ask permission." Thank God we had a friend that's in the police department, so they didn't throw our
Yeah.
signs away.
Yeah.
There'll be some building. There'll be some permanent structures on the park site as well. Our farmers market is currently at Gills Creek Memorial Park, which we activated the last couple of years. The old Four Paws site that flooded.
Yeah.
Be starting up here in a couple weeks,
And,
1st of
yeah.
April.
First of
But
April.
that will move
That'll
over.
move to the new park.
Okay.
Yes, and have a home, and so we're very excited about that. So it's fun to see. It's fun to see it come to fruition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Well,
lot going on.
kind of, it's a creek. It's not a river. It's not Reedy River in Greenville.
Right.
But I think we all envision that creek drawing people.
Sure.
You know, I mean, the fishing deck at Gills Creek Memorial Park, unbelievable use.
Really?
You know, unbelievable use. And that's just Gills Creek. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not big fish. People
Sure.
aren't, the Bassmasters aren't showing up
Right.
for that. But it's, you
Some
love to go by there and see
recreational.
kids,
Yeah.
just throwing their fishing lines in
Yeah.
and having a good time. And obviously,
That's cool.
Columbia, we all know people love to be outside,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
especially when the
Right.
weather's beautiful. Not today, and
Uh-huh.
not when
this
it's
week.
90,
Yeah, yeah.
95 degrees. But
Yeah.
there's times that
There are times.
yeah,
Well,
So-
I think most of the time you can enjoy being
Sure.
outside
Oh,
here.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you're not allergic to anything.
Well, they make drugs for that.
Yeah.
I think drugs for everything.
Yeah.
That
If
is
you want
true.
to try real hard. So yeah, what are y'all most excited about coming up besides the park itself? But like, if there's big projects or if it's just homeostasis? Sometimes no new things is good things too.
Yeah, the mall park. I had to say the mall park. That's one piece of it. The mall development. I mean, we've all
Yeah.
watched it.
Yeah.
Brad, you referenced it a minute ago. They're still crushing concrete. Stephen's right across. He knows when they
Oh, I
start.
bet they
when
hate that.
finish.
You're just like throwing stuff out all day. Like,
Yeah.
move out there.
Oh yeah, I'd call City Hall when they were first doing demos. Like, you're going to get some phone calls. What's going on? I can't see Forest Drive from the dust. That was the big complaint from the neighbors. Is they
Right,
were supposed to be
right.
staying on top of the dust, and
Yeah.
I was like, phone calls are coming, guys. Just prepared for it.
Here
Yeah,
they come.
yeah,
And to that point, overall, it's been pretty good. I mean, there's been very
very
negative
little. Yeah,
pushback as far as that demo's
Yeah.
concerned. That at one time was 1 million square feet of concrete, and so
which they're grinding up and going to
I
recycle
mean,
to
it
use
has
on
been
site. So,
amazing to watch that come down. I mean,
and I think that's why we haven't gotten the complaints or pushback is people were ready for a change.
Sure.
They were tired of looking at that, archaic, decaying building there,
Yeah.
and they wanted to see something new. So
Yeah.
I think everybody's just as excited as we are.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder, have you seen any prospecting, if you will, on the kind of neighborhood off of Eastminster, Sunnyside behind there? Because the houses are fine, but like it's not been the most searchable place that we've sold houses. But I wonder if people are starting to go in there and kind of prospecting.
Brad, that's I was going to ask you all that question today. No, it is.
Get your checkbook out. We can go do something.
We've all had that conversation, I think.
Yeah.
You think, I
internally,
mean,
yeah.
the tide rises, and
Yeah.
that neighborhood may be one of them.
Yeah.
And they're very serviceable and good duplexes, single family homes that are there. But at some point, that could be it could be something else.
Yeah.
That will be a walkable entrance to the park over there.
Yeah,
is the
absolutely.
plan, so,
I would think it would do nothing but help
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
neighborhood.
100%. 100%.
Is there anything slated for? We may not record this part. But is there anything slated for that old Kroger? The Kroger's moving over to be an anchor store. Is that
It
right?
is. So that Kroger, a Kroger is moving over. It's a Kroger marketplace that's going to be moving to
Yeah.
the mall development. So, and this is what I told my mom. My mom is a Forest Acres resident, and she always is asking questions, and Stephen knows her. It is. I compare it to the Kroger marketplace that we have at Killian Road that you see out there. It's
Okay.
almost I'm going to say Publix. It could be any nice grocery store and a Target if they got together.
Together,
And that's
yeah.
what you see at a Kroger marketplace.
Okay.
So that's the type,
Including a gas station.
Right.
including a fuel
Oh,
station,
yeah.
which you can actually, I think, save a few pennies by being a member. To answer your question, it is owned by Kroger, so we don't know where that goes next,
Yeah.
but we shall see.
Absolutely. So, all right. So we got to talk about traffic on Forest Drive. I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
I'm gonna dive right into that.
So are y'all still in the middle of a trying to get residents to join Forest Acres itself as a city annexation? Is it y'all still
Annex
pushing
the
that? Is that still a thing going on?
Absolutely, yeah. We Lindsay Baker, our director of communication, I think
Yeah.
is her proper title now, came back to us. She left and went to NP Strategy, and we were able to lure her back,
Okay.
and that's kind of her baby.
Okay.
We're working closely with Richland County Council because they want those donut holes closed just as much as we do because there's literally a street over by me. I think it's Pine Hill. It's one road in the middle of Forest Acres that's Richland County.
Yeah.
So that garbage truck is having to drive across Forest Acres to hit
That's
that
true.
one street.
Yeah.
Richland County deputies are having to
Yeah.
respond to that if there's an emergency. Not that FAPD wouldn't respond and show up until
Sure.
Richland County got there,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't make sense for that one street.
Yeah.
Right.
So Richland County is willing to work with us and close those donut holes. So
Can you take them by force? Can you just go out there and just take them?
No, the state law.
Really?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
you'd
Yeah.
have thought.
Stephen and I can't.
You can
just
do it
bring a new
internationally, you
trash
just
can.
can't do it locally.
Yeah.
I got
That's
it.
right.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that was a
Yeah.
joke. That was a
Oh,
joke.
boy.
yeah.
Yeah, that
But
was
I
a
did make a
joke.
note, Brad, when you said you might be one of those donuts.
Uh-huh.
I'll be
Yeah.
calling you later today.
Well,
Lindsay,
here's the
Lindsay
thing.
will be in touch with
I got a
you,
couple
yes.
trees. I'm just kidding. No, but I am legitimately in that hole. I think both my neighbors are. But yeah, one time I had to call the cops, and it was funny because FAPD and Richland County, they're like, I don't know who wants this one. And it wasn't anything bad, but it was just funny.
Well, and if it's an emergency, you worry.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
that's-
take them all. Or take them
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Never hurts to have an extra.
So why don't you help residents, help me understand, like, what's the benefits of joining Forest Acres over just staying in Richland County or unincorporated? Because I think I can still shoot a gun in my backyard, technically. I think.
Oh, boy.
I can try. Let's try it. We'll see what happens. Just be on notice.
You can tear down your house and build whatever you want to. 4 or 5 houses there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a sweet spot as far as value of the home where
Sure.
if you come into Forest Acres, we may actually save you some tax money
Okay.
and you get premium services.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's something that Haskell and I have talked about as we try to promote Forest Acres as a premium brand.
Yeah.
You know, we're not Richland County, we're not City of Columbia, we're Forest Acres. You're going to get a quicker response time from Forest Acres Police Department. You're going to get public works guys that smile and wave at you. And if by chance you forget to pull your trash can out, they're probably going to walk up your driveway and get your trash can and pull it out for you. You know, just don't make it a habit because then City Hall will get calls about that. But, just above and beyond. And back to that conversation that government moves slowly, you can call our City Hall and you're going to get a much quicker response than if you were to call Richland County or City of
Can my
Columbia.
tree limbs be longer than 4 feet? Or they,
Also, and I was going to say, so we have, and I don't know the exact percentage, but the number of, and there's a list. So if you go to the website, the Forest Acres website, there's a list of things to check off to have a tree removed. We approve over
95%, I
Yeah.
think is what the number is of
Okay.
tree
It's got to make
removal.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't clear cut it.
So I don't have to bribe tree guys to tell me the tree's dying anymore so I can take them down.
You can
Right.
do it. I mean, so there's
Not that
There's
I've done
certain
that.
reasons we can't stop you. Like
Sure.
if it's too close to the house or something like that, or the tree's leaning,
Yeah.
we can't deny you the permit
Right.
to, you know, no matter how small the tree is or anything like that. So
but they are diligent about it. So
Yes.
just I don't want to oversell.
Well, it's kind of a running
our
joke.
tree.
We've
It is
we've
a
one
learned
running-
it
it's,
is.
a,
Oh,
lo-
it
it's a
is.
local joke.
Yeah.
But like
Right.
in Forest Acres, do
But
not
it's-
touch the tree.
Oh,
right,
wow.
it's also
We grew up here.
to protect
Right.
the resident
Yeah.
because sometimes they're not knowledgeable enough to know if that person is insured or has a business license.
for sure.
So it protects them too. That
Yeah.
if that that tree comes down on top of your house, well, I don't have insurance. You know,
Right. Whoops.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
had, I've had a
exactly.
bucket truck fall into a house one time
Yeah,
over
yeah.
non-forest acres. So
Yeah.
yeah, insurance helps.
It
Yeah.
does come
He
on.
had insurance. I thought he said he had it like now.
Yeah,
No.
used to have it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That
We
bucket
do,
truck sucks.
and I'll just add one more thing to that. Our Chief Don Robinson, our FAPD, also provide great services
They do.
for our Forest
Yeah.
Acres residents. They do programs, and I do it when we go out of town. If you're going to be gone for a week, you can call the city hall. They will do property checks, FAPD, twice a day. They'll make sure there's nothing happening, and then they also have a constant care? They have a care program for our senior residents where they will check in
That's
and
cool.
make sure they're doing okay. This is our FAPD.
Yeah.
And they are busy and they have other things happening.
Yeah.
But they go out of their way to do that. Over Christmas, they delivered however many poinsettias to their
I think it
group.
was about a dozen. They said
A dozen.
Yep.
And Chief brought his dispatchers. Those are the people they talk to on the phone every
Sure.
day.
Dispatchers actually asked to go. They wanted to go meet
wanted
face to
to.
face to meet these residents
That's
they
awesome.
talk to on a daily basis. Yeah.
It gives me chills talking
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of, that's what we have going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And to kind of explain that a little bit more, the residents have to call into dispatch by a certain time every morning. And if they don't, then the dispatcher tries to reach them. Then if they can't get a hold of them, one of our officers goes out and knocks on the door. If they still don't come to the door, then we keep a key under lock and key at the police department, and then they would go in and check and make sure
yeah.
they haven't fallen or,
That's great.
Yeah.
I did not realize that. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, that is great. We'll put something in the show notes about that.
Yeah.
Right?
You want keys to houses? Go see.
Yes.
We got tons of keys
Yes.
downstairs too.
I know. What's another couple of keys, Marilyn?
Yeah.
Right. I have
Nothing's
so
worse than
many
opening your
keys.
console and be like, "What is that key to?"
God,
That
that
is-
happened
should
to
be
me the
somewhere.
other
Yeah,
day. I was like, oh, whoops.
So when are we going to pave Trenholm Road? Because my 4-wheel drive is getting a little off kilter. I'm just kidding. That's not y'all.
I feel
It's
like
a joke.
this is a
Yeah.
self-serving podcast.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, you invite guests next time. I'm just kidding. I heard it is going to be paved here
It is.
shortly.
No, it's
Okay.
all
North
very
Trenholm
true.
is. North Trenholm.
North
is.
Trenholm.
Yep. From Forest to Decker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I care about. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And we've been told, I think the last we've heard is this summer is when it'll start, maybe finish going into the fall. But
And hopefully at night is what we were told. They're supposed to maybe do some paving at night.
get back to you.
We'll see. Yeah. We all
We'll
know how
follow up.
DOT is, and that thankfully there was some collaboration there because that was getting ready to be a huge disaster. Believe it or not, City of Columbia knew they had some problems on North Trenholm
Right.
with their water
this
lines.
is the water line.
Yeah, and it was slated to be repaired. And I think Councilman Will Brennan got wind that it was getting ready to be repaved, and he's like, "Hey, time out, everybody!
yeah.
We don't want to repave and then
Right.
dig up a huge trench."
Right.
So he kind of stepped in and pushed DOT off, and we thought it was going to be done towards the end of last season.
Yeah.
And the contractor for City of Columbia had some issues, and
Yeah, if
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, we won't
Yeah.
name them, but like, yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
if they know how
and
to
it-
pave a road. So
yeah, it dragged along, and DOT it got too cold, so they couldn't pave. So it got,
it
got
is a
pushed off.
temperature thing too. Yeah, big shout out to Councilman Brennan for
Yeah.
the.
Yes.
oh, he's gotten some good
Coordinate.
news this
Yeah.
time. So moving on, so being business people yourselves, why is Forest Acres? I think it is, but like, why would you say Forest Acres is a place that you should start a business? Like, why is it maybe more friendly than Columbia, or like, because you're attracting a lot of businesses there
I
right
agree
now.
with-
Brad,
Why is
that's-
that?
That's a great question. And I think it starts from the beginning. So, if there is if you do find a space, if you find well, and there is space. I don't
That's
want to.
right.
I don't want people to think that the market is so tight that there's not space available.
Well, it's your commercial. That's his commercial sales pitch coming on. We'll put his number on the screen in a
There's
second.
space.
Exactly. You want
We'll
to
make
leave some business
space.
cards on the table?
there
Or-
are options, but we want to be, and you want it to always. It doesn't always happen this way, but the communication I think is always there. We want to be business friendly, and so look, if the building code says something, the building code says something.
Yeah.
So we can't help you with that, but we can communicate with you.
Yeah.
And here's what you need to do to correct it. And Councilman Oliver gets the same calls I do, maybe more. We do take those calls, and we can help navigate or bridge two people or bring two people together to talk about it from the city's perspective. But we want to be business friendly.
Yeah.
And our code enforcement guy is not a guy that you want to raise your voice to.
I've met him.
Yeah,
I've met him.
yeah. He's a large gentleman, and I think he's probably got the temperament of a kitten, so he probably wouldn't do anything. He's just intimidating. So if you want to call somebody and vent, you could call to one of us and vent, and then we'll play that role for you. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, you've got certainly the density as far as our residents are concerned, and our houses, our community, and business friendly. So I think people want to be on Forest Drive to capture some of that and have good neighbors. I feel like the business that you're going to be next to is also a thriving, successful business, and come be a part of it.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's been a ton of growth in Forest Acres over the last couple of years. So, I mean, well done. I mean, I think people do see it as a great place to start and found a business.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think some people don't realize too that Forest Acres is not just Forest Drive. Like y'all extend over to Decker, you extend over to Two Notch. I mean, I know there's some fingers going everywhere over on that side, but you've got a pretty big territory.
We do, and don't want to leave out Covenant Crossing as well. So that's the commercial district that we have near Trenholm Park, and there's some businesses down there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yep.
Therapy Place is one of them. They're celebrating their 15-year anniversary later on today, which is very exciting. So we don't want to just focus on Forest Drive as a council. We talk about those other areas that can use some attention and
a reboot.
A reboot.
Yeah. Yes. Other than the other store. The other store doesn't need a reboot.
Oh, it's got a new roof. They're fine.
They're fine. They're fine. But that whole area does. And we're trying to keep it, definitely business friendly, but we want to keep it family friendly as well. Yeah. And make sure that we are attracting the right businesses for that Forest Acres feel.
Yeah. So, I think it's not only that, and not to necessarily get in the school debate, but I can say schools are sought after in the Forest Acres area. Very much so. Yeah. My kids are at Forest Lake and Dent. But I mean, some of that falls into the jurisdiction, some of it doesn't. But yeah, I mean, I'll be driving down, taking my kid to school, and there's FAPD sitting there making sure people aren't hitting the school zone too fast, which obviously I appreciate. Yes. Until it's me going too fast, but usually it's fine. I just wave and keep going.
Yeah. And Trenholm Park's a big part of the city as well.
Yeah.
We draw people from all over Richland County for that.
Yeah.
We got one of the biggest little leagues in the state.
I don't think people realize how competitive that little league area is.
Yeah. And it's one of the only places that girls can play softball in Columbia that has a full-time girls league other than Irmo. So,
and nobody wants to go out there. So.
And nobody wants to fight 26 traffic to get Irmo. That's right.
To all our Irmo friends, we do
That's
visit on
yes,
occasion.
we do love the Irmo friends.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I think that Covenant Crossing, that area, just all needs some attention, and we've put some pressure on Richland County Council and Richland County Rec Commission to address Trenholm Park, because that literally has been underfunded for 30 years.
Sure.
The oldest park in the system, but also and most used park in the system, and most underfunded park in the system. So we're starting to see some attention being drawn there. Councilman Weaver has stepped up and put some pressure on them as well. So hopefully they'll get it going in the right direction for us.
Okay, can we at least talk about taking over Arcadia Lakes? Can we just talk about? I want to take over somebody
Like
today.
a coup?
Yeah,
Like
sure.
We're just gonna go take
I don't know if we can call it.
I think Mayor Janet's going to like this part of the podcast. So.
We'll have her on next and see how she feels.
Brad's watching too much national.
Right.
I've been watching these Apple TV shows. Like it's been ramped up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Trying to help.
Yeah, we're going to work on the annexations. I think.
And then Fort Jackson. We're on to Fort Jackson. We're trying to take that next.
And they're a great partner. I met somebody for coffee last Friday at Vicious Biscuit, which is another great restaurant. If you haven't been, it is wonderful. And it doesn't always have to be a thick biscuit. You can get a nice bowl and do other things. But the amount of Fort Jackson traffic that was coming in, our soldiers that were coming in that morning for breakfast, we're very thankful for them too.
Yeah. Explain that, because we have to do it all the time. When people go, oh, it's a military town, you're like, not really. I mean, yes, we are. We're military friendly. There's a military reservation, but it's not Fayetteville. It's not Fort Gordon. So, like, how would you explain to somebody how the base interlocks? And just if somebody had to, like, you had to describe to somebody without them seeing it, being a base, like, literally I hear taps and all the other bugle sounds 10 times a day.
And I love it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we feel some of that just as far as
Sure.
commerce goes. I mean, I think those soldiers, especially on Thursdays when they have graduation, I mean, they're coming in, their families are coming in, they're getting exposed to Forest Acres, Columbia, and the greater Midlands. So there's a relationship there. If you haven't been, they've got a great water park. I'll take the boys over there in the summer. So there's some in and out, but
And Susan McPherson with the Columbia Chamber does a good job of making sure the leadership is aware. You know, anytime she can make an introduction between council and leadership over there, she does that. So there's high turnover. So there's not long-term relationships that are established, but at least they have, you know, somebody they can pick up the phone if they have a question, or if there's an event going on, they can reach out to. I know kind of a rare thing that happens, but back to FAPD and the great services they offer, we're the closest police department to the fort. So private citizens are not allowed to carry firearms onto the fort. So they will, I guess there's a Google search that tells them that they can come drop off their firearm at FAPD, put it under lock and key while they're in town. You know, parents that have a vehicle in their car, they're traveling in, they can leave their weapon at FAPD and know it's safe and not have to worry about getting arrested on federal charges while they're on base.
Fact.
I did not know that.
Exactly.
Like a little Amazon locker. Just put your gun there and lock it in.
We had no idea until Chief Robinson brought it up to us a few months ago that somebody had reached out to him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a service we offer." So
That's great.
yeah.
But other than that, like you don't really have any obviously jurisdiction over the fort. But like I know it's like sometimes the same zip code. But I didn't know if there's any kind of overlap with I don't know services or whatnot.
Richland County and City of Columbia kind of barrier us from in 77 from our jurisdiction.
So speaking of graduations, I've got questions today.
Go for it.
You want to jump in at any point? No?
I don't know where you're going with graduation, but
No,
go for it.
but
You need to take a coffee break, want to step out. Yeah.
I'm here today, guys.
so she's got bubbles in there. She's fine. The longer the podcast, the better she gets. No, so short-term rentals. It's a big thing in City of Columbia.
Yeah.
But the reason it made me think of that is because we have a really thriving short-term rental market because of graduations, like football games, and then flow over to graduations every pretty much Tuesday through Friday, if you will. So I really don't know this question. Like, how does Forest Acres feel about short-term rentals? Legitimate question. Is there rules to it, or how does that work?
Good question.
Do y'all know?
That's a very topical
First
question,
time
right?
ever, there are rules to it now, and that was part of our new UDO that we just went through.
Okay.
Is we all kind of feel like, you know, we don't want to discourage them, but we also need to be mindful of our long-term residents, our full-time residents here. So for the first time ever, when business license are due next month, if you have a rental property in Forest Acres, you have to have a business license. And we put some guidelines in there. You know, we need to have a contact of a local person. The property's owned by somebody out of the city, and they have to be within a 45-minute drive, I think, is what we
So
said.
that mimics kind of City of Columbia's permit.
Yep.
Okay.
So if there's an emergency, we have a point of contact, and
Okay.
it also gives code enforcement some teeth. That if there's problems, then we can start enforcing it and hold those people accountable.
Gotcha. Are there any?
And it's long. I'm sorry. Ray.
No, go ahead.
It's, and maybe long overdue. I mean, it's there were no guardrails. There was no ordinance related to short-term rentals, and so we've with that UDO that we worked on this past fall, we have those now, and like Stephen said, we want to know who's there in some form or fashion. If there's an emergency, contact, all that stuff, which we didn't have before. We didn't really know who all had operating Airbnbs.
Sure.
We'd get calls and texts and emails in the middle of the night if there was an Airbnb,
Yeah.
but you didn't know. And so
It's that saying, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
We don't know it's there until it's a problem, and then people start reaching out to us.
Yeah.
Sure.
And a lot of times it's not a problem. So this is a good way to go forward.
And is the business license required for anybody who owns a rental property, or just short-term rentals?
Anybody that owns a rental property, yep. Long-term rentals, short-term rentals, anybody that owns a rental property in Forest Acres.
Are there any geographic restrictions to where the short-term rentals can be located or anything like that?
Not right now. I mean, it's residential, so we're kind of giving it a test run, I guess, is the best thing to see how it goes.
Yeah.
And
It's
if we
always-
need to make some adjustments, then we will.
Yeah, it's always been interesting to me, like with the 6%, 4% tax rate, right? It's like just the rebel in me is like, I'm paying 6% taxes because it's an investment,
it's
but then the government's telling me I can't rent it. Like, I'm like, there's something that needs to be figured out here. That's just me internally. I don't know all the
That's a
details.
whole nother
It's a fair
podcast.
debate.
Yeah.
And short-term rentals is a debate, and I'm, maybe at some point the State House takes it up, but it's a real thing. We deal with it. We have challenges with it here in the Midlands. Our coastal friends have different challenges, but challenges too. So,
And I think it's coming to a head at the State House. I know it was a big topic last session,
Yeah.
or the first part of this session, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate thing is the lobbying, VRBO, Airbnb, they have a lot more money than municipalities do.
Us
that-
pesky realtors
Yeah.
have a voice too.
Yeah.
But it's never
Yeah.
a problem. And we do
Yeah.
it. We do it as a family. We'll do it, and with friends we'll do it, and it takes a couple of bad apples, and then you always got to plan for the what if, and so that's what happens.
I think that's mainly what's happened. The bad news in the Columbia market has been people. I know the property managers that are renting some of the, like managing these, and like people that signed it were of age, like they did everything.
Oh,
they
everything
just let their
checks.
kids do it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, well, in that case, they need to go. I mean, not on the owners, right? Like,
Sure.
so
Right.
that's the hard part.
It is.
It's the real hard part. So great, get your short-term rental today before
Yeah,
they
right.
change it. So we need to go do that. But yeah, what else would you want people to know about Forest Acres? That maybe is like a hidden gem. We like to talk about restaurants. We like to talk about like the hidden spots that people may not know. Or if you want to take it from a friends are coming in town, you got to show off for a day. Where would you take them and not leave Forest Acres?
That's a great question.
Summertime, springtime, Gills Creek Memorial Park, especially if they have kids. We've
Yep.
got the splash pad.
Right.
Bring your fishing pole. Make sure you have a fishing license.
Fishing license
yeah.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a state regulation.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
is the game warden going to show up there? Probably not.
But just in
But-
case.
But
You know,
that big
you-
guy, the code enforcement guy, might. I'm not gonna meet him.
Yeah.
Let me see your
Yeah,
license.
yeah.
Fair.
Um,
Okay, fair.
Yep. What else, Haskell? What do you
Well,
think
you
is?
touched on as far as restaurants go, you touched on the other store, and I think that's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
If you're from
Sure
here,
is.
you're familiar
Yeah.
with it. But if you want to bring a friend in town and grab a nice sandwich with a good vibe, where everybody knows, it's cheers without the beers,
Right.
kind of walking in.
Right.
That always is kind of a fun place to go for a bit.
Shopping
we
at
get,
Trenholm Plaza.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
and our shops at the Cardinal and everywhere in between. We get in a rut dinner wise. Taza's always good. It's outside. It's got a good vibe.
We're also the ice cream backup.
Yes,
Dude.
you
Yeah.
are. Yes,
Dude.
Yeah,
between
I mean, we've
16
got, if you
handles
want
and
frozen
handles,
yogurt, we got
yeah.
that. If you want ice cream on a stick, we got that.
Yep.
If you want just
Ice
old
cream
school
bowl.
scooped ice cream,
Yeah.
we
Right.
got that. So, yeah.
Why can't we be more of a golf cart town? Like, what can we do to get more golf carts going? Or y'all don't want golf carts?
Golf course is a tricky.
It is tricky. We got to abide by the state regulations, which have gotten a little bit more, lenient and strict at the same time,
Yeah.
if that's possible, I guess. But you still can't drive them on Forest Drive or Trenholm unless they're
You can
Yeah.
cross.
Street legal or
You still
whatever?
can't
Street
have your
legal,
baby in
yes.
your lap, and I see this.
Right, see
You
that
still
all
can't
the time.
Keep your baby while you're riding.
Or are they supposed to be?
yeah.
The top.
Yeah. There you go.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
So actually, I've got you. I heard there might be a traffic circle at one point that was proposed at the Forest in Trenholm, or an idea of a traffic circle there instead of the stoplight. Was that ever a thing?
No, not that I'm.
Not
Fake
that I'm
news.
aware
People
of.
lying to me.
Yeah.
No,
That's why I can't join Forest Acres.
I'm the representative on the Council of Midlands, Midlands Council of Governments for Forest Acres, and so we do talk about traffic DOTs at these meetings once a month, and no traffic circle, but we do, and this in talking to council and from what we hear from our residents, we would like to see it beautified. We'd love to see masked arms at some of these major intersections. There is a way to beautify, I think, what we have, and I think they're
Buried power lines.
Yes,
Very
please.
nice.
Oh man,
would
that'd
be a
be
great
beautiful.
project, and extremely expensive. But I think there's some argument, and Hilton has done a good job of this, where you almost drive safer, better, slower when there's not so much clutter. And so, how do you get there?
Yeah. No, I agree. But
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
We're working
Well-
on putting entryway signs up on all of our major entry points now.
Okay.
yeah, there's a pretty one they just put in front of Lexington. And
Yeah.
Med.
Yep.
They put up
Yep.
there on Forest.
And now
Thank
you know
you.
where you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it's very nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Instead of the little 2 foot by 2 foot green sign, welcome to Forest Acres.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Right.
Lexington Health for allowing us to do that there. And
Yeah.
I think the folks at Bishop Biscuit have offered, and we just haven't moved forward with that yet.
Yeah.
Quinine Park just got a smaller version of the entryway sign there by the Walgreens and Kroger, so
Yeah.
people will know.
And to piggyback on that, you'd mentioned parks earlier, Brad. We, as a council, have not lost sight of what made Forest Acres, and that's our current parks.
Yeah.
If you've had a chance to go by Quinine Hill Park, that needed some work. That work is almost complete, including the entryway signage to know you're here. But also Citadel Park, if you've had a chance to drive by there, maybe after the gym,
Yeah.
loop around that way.
Yeah.
He said I went to the gym. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I have a witness.
I didn't say you did anything at the gym. He
They
just
wouldn't
said
either.
We're
I can
there.
vouch for Brad. I see him very early in the
Yeah,
morning.
he's drinking coffee, watching everybody else.
Donut holes and just talking crap. That's all I do.
But Central Park, this started around Christmas time. It's going to be completely renovated.
Oh, wow.
Ton of work. Now, the playground equipment stays, but Helene did a number tree-wise,
Sure.
which kind of kicked off more of a undertaking for what needed to happen there. And so we're not losing sight of what parks we currently have, and that's very important. So Citadel Park, for those listening, we're told will be done by April 1st. So you don't have to jump that fence anymore to go play on the playground.
All right.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, as a parent living in that area, I mean, we literally, we go to one of the 3 ice cream shops probably every weekend. And not also our date nights, Taza, right? Just a good mixologist there, sitting outside. If we want to do that, I mean, it's just awesome. It's just a great spot, no matter where you want to go. I think a couple more watering holes just for a meetup and greet could be kind of helpful. But
Absolutely agree. And
Sports bar. I was at my wife and I one of the times we did go across the river. We went to D's, and you sit there and you go, man, something like this would just kill in Forest Acres.
Yeah.
Family friendly, but also a place for dads to go hang out and watch sports.
And we hope that some of the retail at the mall development will help fill that gap, because we share all that with the developer, and they're doing the leasing on it. So
I know Craft and Draft was talking about Forest Acres some point. Throw that out there to Kellen, see what he can do.
Or, anybody that's looking to open, the old Pugans is sitting there just prime for the picking. So it's got a full bar already set up
and 3 parking spots.
and a parking garage.
Parking garage. People don't know about the parking garage.
That is y'all's only parking garage. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yep.
That's great. Well, guys, this has been awesome. Seriously, so hopefully I didn't get y'all in trouble by asking all the random traffic circle
Not at
stuff.
all.
No, good.
We love talking about our city.
Can we talk about a couple of
come on.
upcoming activities?
Please.
And
Busy couple months for us.
and you've got a student there. There's a 5K run. Forest Lake Elementary has a 5K
Run, Forest, run.
Run Forest Run.
So Forest Acres
That's
is
the name
excited.
of the race?
Yeah.
Yep. Run
It's
Forest
got a
Run.
picture of Forrest
I love
Gump
it.
ish.
Yep.
Yeah, it's such a fun idea and a heck of a hill.
of a hill.
Councilman Newton has run it a few times and says, "Watch for the hill at the end." Forest Acres through HTAX has supported that again, and very excited for that coming up this spring. We've got Sweep the Acres, which is a community-wide cleanup. This will be the 5th year, sponsored by Palmetto Citizens, in conjunction with Crawl Space Medic and Clark McCarthy.
And it's turned into a social gathering.
And it's turned into
Coffee before.
lazy
and
day
then,
coffee to start.
And then
We'll
burgers and hot dogs afterwards.
burgers and hot dogs.
Well, I might do it this year then.
And can anybody just show up, or do they have to register?
It helps to register. We have T-shirts just to get a head count for T-shirts. If you do want to just show up and everybody and the kids are awake and everybody's ready to go, you can always show up.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick up grabbers from Keep the Midlands Beautiful the day before. So you'll have a vest, you'll have grabbers. The date is March 28th. It's a Saturday in 2 weeks. But if you do register, you can go to the Forest Acres website and look for that there.
Farmers Market opens first week of April.
April 1st.
Gills Creek Memorial Park, Wednesdays from 2 to 6.
Can you just describe that a little bit? Like what everybody talks about Soda Citizen. I know Soda City.
And Soda Citizen.
Yeah, for sure. Completely different. But like describe, I know it's smaller, but like what's the gist behind the farmers market so people can come down
It's all pretty much local vendors that show up. Soaps, breads, vegetables, meats, desserts. Sometimes children theater will bring characters down there. So
Oh, cool.
there's always something every Wednesday to kind of make it family friendly. I mean, the splash pad is always open too during the farmers market, but there's photo opportunities, meet your favorite character, superhero, something like that. So very community and family driven.
And you can park at the police department if you have to and walk across.
Walk
There's
across,
usually a
yep.
crossing guard there and like nice paved pavers or whatever it is now that take you all the way
very
down.
attractive.
Yeah, it looks good. It really does look good back there now.
And we got a couple of other things, and I should have wrote them down before I came. We've got the Forest Acres Festival, which will be coming up. That's over at AC Flora. And then Andy Hallett, the baseball team, will have their Forest Acres
Classic during spring break.
Okay.
That's
So
a big thing,
residents
too.
of Forest Acres are free to come in. That's part of, again, HTAX being used.
Yeah.
Yep.
We recognize it as one of the only events that draws outside people from the city, from outside Forest Acres into our city. That use our restaurants during a desperate time because everybody else leaves town during spring break, and our restaurateurs still need business.
That's a good
So
point.
they get every team gets a list of restaurants in Forest Acres, and they
That's
go
cool.
go have at it. And,
That's awesome.
you know, back to the Ford, I think that's something else that we have been working on. If y'all know anybody, and we recognize our city needs a hotel.
I was thinking about that
Desperately.
because the only hotels for the fort really are
Yep.
like not Fort Jackson Boulevard, but Gardner's Ferry.
Gardner's Ferry,
Really
you
the
go
one
to
serves
Notch.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to help people understand how much it would be utilized. You know,
Developers and hotels.
right.
Yeah.
Back to what
operators.
you said. Once a week, there's graduation.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you've got 2 nights there. You got 6 weekends in the fall that are going to be used for football games. USC graduation. There's always events at the law school that are happening, events at the base where the higher ups need a place
Yeah.
to stay. And then most of us don't have spare bedrooms when our family members come into town,
Right.
Out of
and
bedrooms.
we don't
Uh-huh.
want them to stay with us when they come
Yeah.
in from out of town. Yeah, so you need a hotel close
Right.
by to put them up. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We can make
Yeah.
that happen.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is the residential market? What do y'all see?
Horrible.
In Forest
Don't buy a
Acres?
house.
No, I mean, what's the market
No.
like? Is it healthy,
It's-
and is there product in Forest Acres? What are y'all
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
on that?
So
front?
inventory's up about, I think it's about 10%, 14% over last year.
Okay.
Currently. And I think sales prices, we just went over this, like 2.5, like they're steadily going up about 2.5%. So not huge like we
Okay.
were seeing back in the day, but still growing. Sellers are still getting like 98% of list to ask.
Okay, very strong.
But buyers are up, I think, about 6% this year over next. And NAR's forecasting nationally about 14%
Okay.
more in sales. So I think we're just going to be in that purgatory right now. And I think actually Forest Acres is in a good spot for this, but we're in a purgatory because sellers are still remembering what they paid for the house 5 years ago.
Right.
Buyers are understanding what it's going to cost to buy the house now, and there's more inventory. And so we're getting higher asking prices, but buyers being a little more conscious.
Okay.
So I think places like Forest Acres, which a lot of one-story houses, a lot of ranch style that open up the demographic to everybody.
Sure.
I think it's going to be a lot more sought after. The schools are sought after. The amenities are sought after. So I think it's going to be okay for Forest Acres.
Still
for
a
sure.
desirable area to be.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good to
absolutely.
hear.
I think. What's your take on it? That's just numbers.
I don't even know why I'm here today.
I don't either. I wish you would start doing something. I'm just carrying the podcast. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
I
no.
tell people all the time on my street. I mean, we moved in on my street 8 years ago, and we were the young family.
Yeah.
Now I'm the old family there. I mean, it's
Right.
amazing how quickly it turned over.
Mhm.
You know, and I don't feel like I'm old. I mean, my oldest is 21, but
No.
you know,
I don't
there's
feel like
people-
I'm old
Yeah,
either, but I'm
it's
like,
crazy.
oh, man, I think we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we are now. You know, people make fun of me because I'm the old man on the street.
Mhm.
Like,
Yelling at cars.
Yeah.
yelling at
Slow down
cars,
in
slow
the
down.
car.
Actually,
Yeah.
I've started doing that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I might get a
Yeah.
paintball gun out here in a little bit.
Well, I do think two things that Forest Acres has going for it is number one, as cheesy as it sounds, nobody wants to live where nobody wants to live.
Right.
And Forest Acres has done a really good job of growing that community and being a place where people want to be, right?
Oh, that's nice.
And you can't fake something like that, you know. And then downtown in general, you can't make more land,
You're
right?
Right.
And so you got to work with what you've got. But I'm seeing a movement of people wanting to be back in a city,
Yeah.
and people really like Forest Acres and the city of Columbia because they both have the amenities of cities, but they live more like a smaller town. So you're not lost in like a big city. Traffic, even though we like to complain about Forest Drive, really is nothing when you look at some bigger cities like
when-
Charlotte and Atlanta.
You know, in Charleston.
It's
yeah.
a very easy city to navigate. It's very friendly. So I think people really see the appeal of, oh, I can work and live downtown and have a neighborhood community feel. You don't get that
And
in
you
a
know
lot
your
of
neighbors.
and you just don't get that in a lot of other big cities. And so people, I mean, we've got people moving here all the time
Yeah,
who
feel it.
are like, this, yes, I've heard that this is what people have said and it is true and I love it.
Oh,
So
that's
And it's
nice.
also not very, I mean, Forest Acres as housing itself is not very restrictive. So like when you're driving through, it's not necessarily eclectic, but like you kind of get some freedom. You got big yards. You don't necessarily, you can kind of keep it natural. Like
Right.
it's not like the super like hoity-toity areas where like they measure your grass and they're going to knock on your door every time your paint color's not. So like you get
Leave
the
you a note.
freedom,
Yeah.
but yet you still have consistency with the overall development of
With
it.
the look.
And you're seeing houses getting torn down some and rebuilt. So that's a good, healthy thing.
We see some of that. I've seen some of that in the college streets, certainly.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Talk about a hidden gem back there. Like people don't understand the college streets. Like they hurt their feelings when they start doing math on those things. They're like, you're getting what behind where? Like, yeah, the college streets will hurt you for sure.
Yeah.
And also, Forest Acres has some of the most expensive roads per dollar of all of Columbia, as far as I'm aware. Outside Heathwood, like you get on some of the Dallas and those like they can get you.
They
So
can.
I think
So-
you've got both ends. And you also have some affordable areas. We do a lot of lead gen back in that side, and you get closer to the 2-night side, you're still like Dare and Circle Drive. Like they're affordable
Yep.
But
ish
still
for
nice
Glen.
houses.
Yeah.
It's a
Still
nice community, and
well-maintained.
Yeah.
and everybody knows everybody. And
Yeah.
you know, kind of talking about that Forest Acres field, it'd be fascinating if y'all could figure out how to come up with this study, track people in the next 10 years. We comment on all the time. There's 3 businesses in Forest Acres that USD students drive to on a daily basis. If they, in 10 years, recognize that after they've got a job and, hey, this is the community I want to come back
Yeah.
to, because they're coming to Forest Acres for 7 brew, 16 handles, and Brugger's bagels.
What? I was going to go Trader Joe's and Lululemon. I was completely
I
off.
thought Lululemon was going to be
maybe
on there.
too. I don't know.
Sephora.
Yeah, possibly. Yep.
Yeah.
I know my daughters are in college and high school, and they
Yeah.
go there.
My
but-
11-year-old just took my father-in-law for $150 in there. She just put a basket. It was like, I'll get it.
Right.
Be done
But
in
if you
five-
go to
Careful.
16
minutes.
handles on a night, on any weeknight,
Jeez.
it is packed full of USC
Oh.
students.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I walked to Brugger's on a Saturday morning, and we walked in, and I was like, "What is happening here? It's all college students in here." Again, I'm the old man, in, in a business. And
Yeah.
it's fascinating. It would be fascinating to see if those folks, when they graduate, get established, if they
Make it home.
make it back to Forest Acres because of how well they're treated, I guess, when they come to the city.
Yeah, I think at some point you're going to have to look at density issues, right? Like, or not necessarily throwing the whole playbook out, but you only got so much land, and
Right.
you almost have to get smaller houses, smaller lots, allow some space for that. Yeah.
You
Well,
go
that-
up and you go multifamily.
Right.
And we'll see 350 or so apartments at the mall site.
Yeah.
So
That'll
they're
help.
ones and
Yeah.
twos,
Yeah.
professional.
And that's also the other biggest complaint we hear about too is longtime Forest Acres residents that don't need that big house,
Yep.
don't want that big yard
Yeah,
anymore.
it's missing.
They have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There's no townhomes. There's no
Yep.
retirement area really to move into other
Yeah.
than the Laureate. But same thing, you're going to pay a pretty dollar to move
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
the Laureate. So yeah,
And Cardinal Crossing rental rates are shocking sometimes when you're hearing what people are paying, but
Yeah.
it's great
40.
that you get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's there. Just got to find the land.
Yeah.
Just we'll take over Greg Park. Let's just do that.
Oh my gosh.
Greg Park, they've got land.
Brad wants to take over
Take over
something
something.
before we leave.
Yeah.
here.
Or
Yeah.
Walmart. Let's
Yeah.
go for
Right.
Walmart. Fine. All right. Fine. Anything else you'd like to add to the podcast before we go?
I think that's it for me.
Marilyn, would you like to add
Yeah.
anything this time?
No.
Sure.
Thank
Yep.
y'all for
Good.
having
Thank
us.
you for
Oh
having
my
us.
gosh,
For
thank
letting
y'all
us
so much
participate.
for being here.
Why don't you close us out?
I don't know.
Do
No,
something.
thank you.
Next time we'll come back and just be with you.
Great.
And, yeah, we'll lock it.
Great.
We'll lock the
Good.
door.
She
yeah.
doesn't even go to
Good.
Forest Acres. She doesn't even know where Forest.
That is not true. I am in
don't
Forest
believe it.
Acres a lot. Sephora, Lululemon, and 16 handles is
There
what
you go.
keeps me and my
There you
kids
go.
always coming to Forest Acres.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, Council Member Kibler and Council Member Oliver, thank you so much for
Yeah.
being here. I just want to be formal on the way out. But also, you've got thriving business, commercial real estate, pool store that is one of the best pool stores and pool companies in the Midlands. So
And
obviously,
also outdoor furniture,
That's
and
true.
grills.
Right,
Let's
green
plug it all.
eggs.
hey,
Yeah.
I got my green egg from you.
Yeah.
I'm in there
Yeah.
every Saturday getting something I don't need because I want to smoke something with a different flavor, like legitimately some of the best.
Meat, not drugs.
I mean, it might be the
Maybe,
back door.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know what's back
yeah,
there,
yeah.
but yes, no,
Yeah,
one of the best
so-
grill selections. Not kissing your butt. Like I love that place.
Yeah.
Like I go in there all the time.
The
So.
winter storms were not good for my waistline.
Oh, yeah.
Took way too much food.
We had a big
smoked way too
Christmas
much
thing
meat.
this year too. You had like a
Yeah,
Christmas market.
Yeah, we introduced the Jack Frost Christmas store last year, and
Yeah.
kind of dipped our toe in to see what it was like, and got positive feedback. So we went
Yeah.
all in this Christmas, and we'll make it even bigger in 2026.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you need commercial space, call Haskell because he knows where it is apparently.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
Yeah.
obviously help support local businesses, which are
Right.
then giving free time to help support the local businesses. So
Yeah.
appreciate y'all seriously for what you're doing.
Thank you all very
Civil
much.
service, I think, would suck. So I'm glad you
Thanks
took it
for
on.
doing it.
Yeah, somebody had to do it, and
Yeah.
y'all did it. So
There you go.
for real though, thanks for
Thank you.
thanks for being here.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Brad.